Hi guys, welcome back. Sorry I didn't check in on Friday. This episode is going to be about days 3 and today would be 4 of the Mayo Clinic pain management rehab clinic. The reason I didn't check in on Friday is Friday was a really hard day for me. As you've seen, I've had some tears and some upset in my videos, but on Friday, I went in the morning and my drive in, I just was feeling tired. I was sore. My body was hurting. And I got in and I just let it go. And I cried and I talked to one of the nurses and I just told her how I was feeling. And it was amazing because the support that they have there, she just basically talked me down out of this heightened state that, of fear and this fight or freeze state that I was in. And through breathing and calming my own self down, I was able to finish the rest of the day on a good note and come home and be happy. But I was tired. I've learned one thing is that I might be pushing myself a little fast. When I say that, when we have strength training, we lift weights. And here I am thinking, hey, no big deal. I'll just pick up, and it's not much. It's only 4 pounds, but 4 pounds when you haven't done a lot of active weightlifting and also putting that and strapping it to your legs in movement, it can get kind of heavy and hard for you, especially with chronic pain. But I wanted to prove to myself that I could still do that. And so I paid for it later. I also realized that, there's a lot of stuff that I think I know about myself, but I actually don't. Every day when we go in, there's a check-in to see how we're doing. And we're supposed to put, if we're using pain management, not strategies so much. There are strategies, and you do write what strategies you're using, such as relaxation, meditation, resting, humor. I mean, there's a long laundry list of them. But then there's also this other list back there that says what kind of pain behaviors, and pain behaviors are ones that we don't want, have you been using? And this weekend, I had an incredible weekend with my husband and my kids. We went out to our hockey practices and we went out to Bass Pro. And the first day on Saturday, my husband and I went out and we took the kids to Bass Pro, as funny as that sounds, but they wanted to go. So we were looking at the fish and walking around. And one of the first things my husband says when I was walking in the door is he said, hey, do you want me to grab a cart? Not a shopping cart. He meant like a cart for me to drive around in. And I said, oh no, I think I'll be fine. I can walk around. But the idea that he was accepting that might be something that I would need and would be helpful was pretty incredible. And a lot of stuff changed this weekend. My whole family was out of bed at 7 o'clock in the morning doing my stretches with me that I do at the camp. And I showed them how to do all of my stretches. And I said, this is important. This is something I have to do every day. And they wanted to be part of it. So they did it with me, which just set the day up to be incredible. We all worked together. We all cleaned together. We all had fun together. And before you knew it, the day was over and nobody was just, I wasn't panting and dying. In fact, on the way home, I said, hey, what time is it? And it was already 4 o'clock. And normally the way I was feeling at that moment is the same way I feel about 12 in the afternoon. So, I got a lot more stamina and a lot more energy and was just in a much better mood. And it's because I'm being given the tools to help myself and being able to breathe through my pain flares and being able to understand that I have control. It doesn't have control of me is an amazing thing. But that was kind of the weekend and Friday. So why don't we come to here? This is Monday And so this is day 4 of the pain management rehab clinic. And we talked a lot about a bunch of different things. One of the ones that we talked about is being a perfectionist. Oh my gosh, I didn't think I was a perfectionist, but I guess it's kind of funny because I guess in some ways I am a perfectionist, especially if you know me as an artist. We laugh, and the group there, we work together really hard, and they like to point out when you say things, and we kind of are there to support each other, but at the same time call each other out when we need it. And I was adamant that I was not a perfectionist, but when it comes down to it, I am a perfectionist in some areas. My art is important to me, so it needs to be perfect. One of the things we learned is that it's okay to say no. As chronic pain people, sometimes we take on a lot more than we can chew. For me, I'm an artist. There was a lady there who she makes absolutely amazing cakes, and she's a baker, and she does it as a hobby, not as a job. And, not that people take advantage, and I don't think people take advantage of me, but when I can sew and do that kind of stuff and people ask things of me, I jump on it. But I have to keep my expectations real, and mine are normally outrageous. Like, oh, can you get this done by tomorrow? And then I'm up past midnight, and then it leads into the next day where I have pain. And so it was learning how to pace myself on things, and also learning how to be able to say no or put other reasonable expectations on what I can and cannot do, including like her. She was so worried that if she went to a book club and brought not homemade goods this time, something from the store, that they'd look at her like she was crazy. And that idea passes through all of our mind. Like, if we do something that's not us, that something that, we would never do, then people are going to look down on us for that. Well, there's got to be things that we can do that are helpful to us, but still allow us to get out and do stuff too. So if buying a thing of cookies and taking them to her book club saved her all that energy and everything to feel better, so be it. But so we talked about perfectionism, and I normally only stop on one subject, but we're going to jump into the other subject because I think it's so important. We also talked about depression. As pain sufferers, we are always going through some sort of depression. That doesn't mean I am in a dangerous category for depression. In fact, with my scale and my numbers around here, I'm actually below what average depression is. But I do have some, and it's what we like to refer to as pain depression. And my depression comes in from not being able to do the same things that I always want to do, and be where I want to be, and interact with people the same way I want to. And acknowledging that and talking about that is really important. And why is that? Because depression goes hand in hand a lot of times with stress. And that's getting into a part where it becomes dangerous in the brain, because when you start allowing that to take over, then there's no room for that other word we talked about last time, hope, where when you have hope and more of an uplifting attitude to it, you can pull yourself out of these, we'll call them flares for fibro, or pain stents or pain days, whatever you want to refer to it. But the only way you can get through these episodes is if you put your mind to it, you focus on it, and you work harder to get out of it. Depression hits us all in different ways. There was a really good video that we watched called I Have a Black Dog, I think. And it's a kind of, what is it? It's a little video about depression and how people go through depression, and the black dog is depression itself, and what it does to you, and what it does to your insides and your social life, and just who you become if you don't face and take care of depression. And at the same time, we also watched a video called I Live with a Black Dog, which was about living with people with depression. And the conversation today was that a lot of us actually might be the other because of what we go through. We also live with people that are depressed. Our partners can be depressed about what we're going through. So I encourage you to look up the Black Dog series. They're just cute little, I mean, not cute, but they're well animated cartoons explaining it and kind of talking about it and talking about what depression does to us, as well as stress. And stress and depression, when you release something called cortisol, pretty sure that's what it is, it actually goes back and it breaks up the neurons that connect the brain, and it actually can shrink the brain over time. So it's absolutely important that we gain control over our stress and our panic mode, because if we don't, we stay in a heightened sense of pain and panic. If I can't calm myself down, then I'm going to be in a constant state of pain and panic. And this is just one of the many, many things that I'm learning. I'm learning that to myself, I could be my own best cure to get me into a regular life. And I'm going to take advantage of that, and I'm going to smile, and I'm going to live my day to day, and I'm going to continue working on building a stronger me. So I look forward to talking to you guys again. I'll probably check in tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a great night, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.